Inflation is still up, despite Trump's campaign promise to bring prices down. Well, the 6 months into his second term, the relief hasn't shown up yet. This idiot, who seems utterly clueless about everyday life, he just insists prices are way down for everything.
You know, if you think inflation, I've already taken care of. Prices are way down for everything, groceries, everything.
In fact, that was a conversation on Fox News, and the help, Harris Faulkner, who claims to be a news anchor, who's really nothing more than a MAGA-loving Trump anchor, got bodied on her own show using a Fox News poll. Watch this.
Who do you think this really does come down to, having to impress the American people right now? Is your party, Mike, you guys are not all moving in concert with one another.
No, I mean, we lost the last election, so we're having a lot of tough conversations about how we build a new Democratic Party. That'll keep happening until we elevate a new candidate. What I'll tell you, though, is I think both political parties are completely out of touch with the day-to-day lives of most Americans. There's a lot of polling out in the last couple of weeks talking about how frustrated people are with inflation and pricing and housing and things like that.
Inflation's at 2%. The GDP
inflation's at 2.9%, actually, Harris. It's the
GDP just popped to 3%. I mean, we haven't seen that in a very long time.
If I could point you to Fox's own polling, Trump is negative 30% on pricing and the inflation. It's as unpopular as Joe Biden ever was. So the American people are pretty frustrated with where their lives are right now. There's a Navigator poll out just this morning or yesterday that has a lot of Americans saying they're worse off than they were 6 months ago.
I love that when you get fact checked. Okay, all right, we gotta move on. I don't know why you brought that shit up. Make me look real stupid. But yeah, we gotta move on. So I don't know why you had to sit here and embarrass me on my own network, make me look like a fool. But then again, Harris Faulkner is known for never ever doing any kind of fact checking whatsoever. She just goes on and spouts all sorts of nonsense. But what you're seeing, though, is you're seeing the reality of what's going on. And see, what's been happening is all these companies have been scared to death to raise prices, Michael, because they want to piss Trump off. Now they're like, okay, you know what? We can't keep getting our ass kicked. We just can't keep doing that. So you got Procter & Gamble announces, yeah, we're going to raise this here. How about this here? 2022, when Biden was president, the price of beef was $4.50. Now it's $6.12, a new record. Boy, how about that, Michael? Boy, those prices are really tumbling down. Is that what we call new math? That when it goes up, it's down?
No, that's Trump and the GOP's math. They just say whatever they want, whether it's true or not. They say it. Obviously, they get fact-checked on channels that they know their supporters don't watch. So when they say things on channels that their supporters do watch, they believe pretty much anything he says. So half the country knows the truth. The other half says, oh, he's working on it, it'll come down. Problem is he campaigned to fix all these issues. I think the term he used on day one, whether it's wars, the world is on fire. Whether it's inflation, not doing what he thought it would do. Prices are going up. His tariff strategy is a disaster. So when these Republicans talk about promises made, promises kept, I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Well, and in fact, Richard Quest, of course, CNN business correspondent, he just sort of just laughed at all these trade announcements. Because see, what this fool does, Nola, is he just announces shit. He just announces it and just like it, and they like, hey, Trump said it. But even though it's a lie, check this out.
The deals. Let's talk about the deals. Right. So we've got the deal with the European Union, which somebody has already described as pie in the sky. They simply will not buy that amount of energy, and nor will they invest that amount of money. We have the deal with Japan, where nobody knows where the $650 billion worth of investment is going to come from. Nobody. The Japanese admit they don't know where it's going to come from. We've got the deal announced today with the South Koreans. What Donald Trump has brilliantly done, he wanted a headline number, and it's around 15%, but the underlying terms of trade deals are garbage.
So, Richard, what deal would you have preferred?
How do you mean?
Well, what details of a deal would suffice for you?
Well, I would have liked them to have negotiated a proper long-term
What's proper?
deal.
Let's focus on the word proper.
Where the
What's
detail
proper
holds
to
up.
you?
Where the detail...
No, because you keep saying this, but you're giving no specificity whatsoever. I can sit here and name a whole bunch of random ridiculousness. That means absolutely nothing at all.
With respect, no, because they've actually announced a European deal where supposedly $600 billion...
So give specifics about what we would like to see.
So they can't see me.
Scott, give an alternative and give specifics for what would be a deal that would satisfy your critique.
A long-term trade relationship deal that doesn't rely on a fictitious amount of investment.
Okay.
The Japan deal.
Richard.
No.
I'm listening.
The Japan deal envisages $650 billion worth of investment. But nobody says by whom or how or the penalty against. It is literally making it up.
Look,
They're good at, Nola, making that shit up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They're good at it, and they have perfected how to be good at it. They say it confidently, and they overtalk you. They bully you, just like, what we just saw there. The expert was being questioned by someone who was just trying to deflect from what the guy was saying because it was landing and resonating with folks. But this issue about how they literally just say anything, and where media is right now, where corporate and mainstream media is right now, they're not going to push back. They're not going to ask any hard questions. And it was to shift that narrative because, everything was Epstein. I talked about this on my show Nightcap on Tuesday. I talked about this very intersection that this this EU tariff deal is designed so you won't be thinking about Epstein, which is why everyone should still be thinking about Epstein. Even if there's no there, this is an issue that really, really bothers him, and it bothers his base. So, the fact that he's doing, I'm not shocked that he's lying. I'm not shocked that he's making up deals that have no teeth. I'm not shocked about any of it. But here we are. He has successfully changed the narrative because we are talking about it. And what we're not talking about is Epstein. Ta-da.
No. Actually, but he has to change the narrative because the right's not letting go of it. See, that's the whole point. He's trying to throw everything at it, and it's just all getting added onto it. But I do got to play this because I thought this was fabulous. Again, this is what happens, and I need people to understand. Have y'all ever seen the little shell game that the fraudsters play? Okay. A master of the shell game on CNN is Scott Jennings. That smug idiot from Kentucky, one of the brokest states in America that will be decimated by Medicaid cuts and SNAP benefits. But he doesn't care because he got a new contract to CNN. Even Abby Phillip just said, you know what? I'm sick of your bullshit. That's what she said, but she didn't. Watch this.
Record high in the stock
Come
market.
on, these trade deals are garbage.
It's actually much simpler.
Garbage? Yes.
Hold on a second. It's much
so
simpler than this. Just one sec, because I think it's super important to understand. Scott, what was happening in April of this year, 2025? What was happening then? What did the president announce on that week, the first week of April? What did he announce?
The president was implementing
his
Scott? Tariff agenda.
And what were those tariff levels?
And well, they were different for different countries.
Okay, so
every single person predicted calamity. Calamity.
Scott, you can't skip steps here.
And
what were those tariff levels?
They were different. He had a chart.
Not just different. They were 2 to 3 times higher than the current tariff levels. Did those tariffs go into place, Scott?
It's different for every country.
Scott,
it's different for every country.
It's a simple question. Did those tariffs go into place?
He has delayed some of the tariffs.
Yes or no?
He has delayed some of the tariffs, and he's made deals, and he's implemented others.
Did any of the tariff levels that Trump announced on that week, did they ever go into place?
Some tariffs have been implemented, some have been delayed, and some deals have been made.
The answer is they did not. They did not.
Some tariffs have been implemented.
Some tariffs have been implemented. All of those quotes.
That's why we have all this money coming in.
We have them here.
Even you said it.
You're playing with numbers here.
We have them here.
No, back in April.
You guys are so mad. Why are you rooting for failure? Why does this table root for failure?
Please, because you are saying that you are taking a number of 40, 50, 60% back in April, and you're comparing bring it to a number of 10, 15% now.
Fine, but it was his strategy to negotiate and create leverage,
Scott,
and give us the situation we're in today.
Okay, Sir Michael, I will let you talk, but I just have to say, completely disingenuous to suggest.
I'm sorry.
That, hold
you
on,
were the
Scott,
one calling
please,
for a recession in April, not me.
Give me 1 second.
You called for it.
Give me 1 second. Please let me finish. It is completely disingenuous to suggest that what economists said would happen if Trump imposed 50 and 60%. Oh, let's jump all the way up to 135% level tariffs on this economy would have been a recession. Those levels never happened, which is why there has been no recession.
You sound
so
disappointed.
it's not that complicated. Sure, Michael.
Let me explain what happens when you're a smug asshole like Scott Jennings. So this is the shell game. Trump threw out tariffs of 75, 100, 125%. Economists said, you do that, we're going to go into recession. Jerome Powell said, you do that, we're not cutting interest rates. What happened? Does everybody remember? See, what the Scots of the world don't want to bring up, and that's why the other panelists should have done this, what happened to the stock market when he threw those announcements out? What happened to the bond market? And that's when Jamie Dimon and others were like, hey, I'm going to need y'all to chill. I need y'all to chill on these tariffs. You got to understand what y'all about to do. And so all of a sudden, they were like, hey, this ain't going to work. This ain't going to work. Okay, now Jamie Dimon is saying, you know what? It wasn't bad. Things are okay. Why is he saying that? Because they actually forced Trump to back down. But see, so a MAGA fool like Scott Jennings, oh, no. Y'all predicted the economy is going to fall through the floor, and it didn't. Yeah, dumbass, because the tariffs didn't go into place. He announced them, he pulled them back. He announced them, he pulled them back. He announced them, he pulled them back. That's what happened. But see, liars like Scott Jennings never want to talk about that because what they want to do is convince people, oh, no, y'all were the crazy ones. No, we weren't crazy. The fool who you kissed more ass than Melania Trump is the crazy one. So y'all just got to understand how the shell game is all being played. And we're going to always call it out, including people like smug MAGA idiot Scott Jennings, who will do anything to stay in Trump's good graces. Because he used to be a Trump opposer. But it's a lot sweeter financially when you become a Trump grifter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Scott Jennings.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.